Welcome back, everyone, to Short Splats. I'm Jared. Today's episode is something different. We're going to do ghost stories and other stories surrounding Atlantic City. It's my hometown. I grew up there. Had a lot of weird, crazy, illegal, and historic shit has happened in that city. So we're going to get to that after these messages. First up, Jimmy J and the Friday the 13th minicon. Let's go.
Friday the 13th weekend, May 13th and 14th. It is all going down right here on the grounds of the Blairstown Diner. Lauren Marie Taylor, Ron Milkey, Ron Sloan, Debbie Voorhees, Tracy Savage. I mean, we have a lineup of guests coming out for the weekend. And not only are we celebrating Friday the 13th, but we are celebrating 13 Fanboy. And with that being said, we have the lead actress, Haley Greenbauer herself, making her way to Blairstown. This is history in the making, folks. Get your tickets now. F13 Minicon.eventbrite.com. That is F13 Minicon.eventbrite.com. Jason's here early. Folks, like I said, it's going to be a killer weekend in Blairstown, going down at the iconic Blairstown Diner. Be a part of the history in the making. We'll see you there.
Alright, Jimmy J telling us about the Friday the 13th minicon. Next up, Field of Screams, St. Patty's Day, March 12th. We will be there. We will see you there. Let's hit it. Can't wait. I'm so excited. 2 weeks away. So this will probably be one of the last videos that has that in there. Also up, Brighton Asylum. Let's do it. Brighton Asylum. Alright, so again, this is a post I wrote on the original website a few years back. It incorporates some horror, a very bloody past, and some little known facts. And I also threw in 10 things that are haunted in the area, just to add some topics, but Atlantic City is a very interesting town. It started in corruption, went through corruption, kind of still in corruption, I guess. I mean, I'm not there, I can't tell. But a lot of stuff has happened in Atlantic City, and it has a bloody history. Let's get into this. And this is an article I wrote about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But just hold through some cool little facts, and let's see what we got. Today we will take a look at some of the crazy and bizarre happenings of Atlantic City. There are a ton of stories coming from the rich history of this very small, short town. We will cover a few here and maybe more later. Some fun facts in history, some ghosts, and a bloody past. Atlantic City will take more than this post to capture the intrigue of this city. Let's get into it. Atlantic City was formed in 1853 when the first beach hotel, the Below House, opened. It was fully incorporated in 1854 when the Camden and Atlantic train line began. The same year, the historical Absecon Lighthouse was built as a result of the sinking of the Powhatan that saw 311 passengers and crew perish. To add to our story, the Absecon Lighthouse is also on the National Registry for Haunted Locations in this country, and it still stands today. It's in the middle of the inlet. And my wife made me climb it. Let's continue. By 1874, about 500,000 people per year were coming into Atlantic City by train. The city's own Dr. Jonathan Pitney tried to develop Atlantic City into a healing town, using the salt air and seawater to help people heal and rest from the city life. To think of what the city has been and has become really makes me laugh at the healing city. Let's move forward to some interesting stuff. We all know that the mob or the Italian mafia has always had a hand in Atlantic City. We've all read the papers. From the beginning and in the 80s, and yes, even today. Here are some facts from Boardwalk Empire did not show you. Al Capone visited a ton of speakeasies in Atlantic City. Atlantic City's location made it the best port to bootleg the then illegal alcohol. Not to mention that good old Atlantic City PD was in the pockets of Atlantic City boss Nucky Johnson. So if you're ever at the Irish pub down by Resorts, there's a good chance that Al Capone walked through that building. There are rumors a few of the casinos today are haunted by Capone, but how many places is this guy haunting? Alcatraz, Eastern State, so far. I'm no expert on ghosts, but that's a lot of moving around. People only say this because of the bodies of the old hotels were used for some of the casinos. But one interesting fact is that the building Nucky Johnson lived in still stands today. He leased the entire 19th floor of the Ritz-Carlton. The modern-day mob was formed in Atlantic City. Lucky Luciano held the Atlantic City Conference where they introduced the Commission and the Five Families. Atlantic City is the inspiration for the board game Monopoly during the Depression. Boardwalk Hall, formerly Atlantic City Convention Center, has the world's largest musical instrument, a giant pipe organ with 33,000 pipes, also the loudest instrument in the world. Atlantic City Convention Center is also rumored to be haunted by many different spirits. I always hear Judy Garland, but again, like Capone, she is busy haunting thousands of theaters everywhere. Atlantic City is home to the first boardwalk. Surprisingly, I have only heard a few nut jobs talking about ghosts in the boardwalk. But next to the boardwalk, on the beach, that whole coast is up to its brim in paranormal activity. They have lost an uncountable amount of ships in the Atlantic, and a fuck ton of spirits have been reported alongside the entire Jersey Shore. With some of these fun facts, let's look into the darker side. There is massive blood, sweat, and tears across the entire city. Everywhere you turn has the chance to be haunted. With the blood-soaked past, present, and future, I am shocked there isn't more sightings, and every inch of concrete in that city has a story to tell. The Tropicana is reportedly haunted with the ghost of Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini performed a lot in Atlantic City. What a lot of people do not realize is that Houdini was obsessed with the occult, mainly the afterlife. Houdini tried to reach out to spirits every day. He would do countless seances inside the hotel that became part of the Tropicana, which stands today. Now, he also did this he didn't like psychics. So he's always trying to prove psychics wrong. So he gave his wife a code that if he died, he would reach a medium to give her that code. And I can't find if that ever happened. So, that's a short, brief look into Atlantic City and the history, and we all know the stories. I lived it. The 90s in Atlantic City was basically insanity in a nutshell. But here's some of the stranger things in Atlantic City around the area. One of the strangest hauntings of Atlantic City is the incubator babies of a boardwalk sideshow in the early 1900s. Dr. Martin Cooney was the person who invented incubators for babies born prematurely. To help parents avoid having to pay for the medical attention needed to care for their sick babies, Cooney developed a sideshow for people to view premature babies for a cost. Weird, but helped people. You can imagine the scrutiny the good doctor received, labeled a freak show. The exhibit was closed in the 1940s. Despite all of the naysayers, hospitals accepted incubators, and 90% of premature babies in those days were saved in the 40s. So that place lasted for 20 years. Some babies sadly did not make it out of the show. It's those tiny souls whose spirits are heard and felt around the boardwalk today. Number 9, the Pitney House. Jonathan Pitney, a doctor, was known as the father of Atlantic City. He built his wife Caroline and him a beautiful Pitney house in 1799. Pitney loved the house so much that he told his wife never to move from the home. Pitney himself died in the place, and many of the paranormal activities are said to be him. It seems Caroline took her husband's request very seriously and never left the couple's home, even after she died. Hauntings are reportedly mainly in Caroline's room, although no one has seen her ghost. Reports in the house are sounds of bells and whistles, slamming doors, and apparitions of two different men roaming from Caroline's room. Some have seen lights rising from a bureau drawer and unearthly voices. The house now runs as a bed and breakfast. It is a popular place for the ghosts within the walls and for many paranormal investigators who have walked away with great satisfaction from their encounters. In 1854, this is about the Absecon Lighthouse. In 1854, a fierce storm annihilated the packet ship Powhatan, killing 300 people aboard. Dead bodies washed up on the beaches as far as Atlantic City. They buried the dead in various places, and it's no wonder that the spirits of these souls lost remain around the lighthouse, perhaps not realizing they are dead. The Absecon Lighthouse hauntings include apparitions of Civil War soldiers and civilians, the smell of pipe or cigar smoke, disembodied laughter, footsteps, and the door to the tower opening on its own. But the most prominent paranormal visitor the lighthouse has had is none other than the Jersey Devil of the Jersey Pine Barrens, which is further down this list. I've been there. I can't say I noticed any smells or saw anything, but it was daytime, so... Surf City Hotel. Another popular paranormal hotspot is the Surf City Hotel. The bodies of victims lost in the Powhatan shipwreck were stored in the hotel after the wreck, and guests reported hearing their ghost roaming the halls in the dead of night. A Union soldier missing one arm walks near the beach, and glowing orbs are reported all over the area around the hotel. 4 women walking locked in arms appear around the hotel. While the hotel was abandoned, many reported lights flickering on and off and shadowy figures in the window. Number 6. Resorts Casino Hotel's Ocean Tower. The Resorts Casino Hotel was built in 1978, but the building is dated back to the 1860s and was used as a hotel, rooming house, and a hospital for soldiers during wartime. The hotel has 2 towers, the Ocean Tower and the Rendezvous Tower, and it's the Ocean Tower that holds the ghosts. In 1903, when renovations began in the original building, ghostly happenings started to occur. Howling noises in the tower's upper floors have been heard over the years with no apparent explanation. Cold spots, unexplained noises in the elevators, and a mysterious apparition of a man flipping his top hat are witnessed by many. Some believe this may be the ghost of Charlie Chaplin, although stories over the years have become a bit obscured. World War II soldiers who died when the building was used as a hospital are seen throughout the halls. One scary incident a guest had was the door to the room shaking violently in the middle of the night by a hand that could not be seen. There's theory as to why the hotel is so haunted. The hotel has a 13th floor, something very taboo in the hotel industry. Number 5, Estell Manor. It's a small town, probably 20 minutes, southwest of Atlantic City. Located in the vast Jersey Pine Barren, Estell Manor has a plethora of ghost hauntings. The Abbott House has the spirit of a little girl who plays and bounces a ball. It's believed to be the ghost of the adopted daughter of the Abbotts, who lost 2 sons in infancy before her adoption. The Ocean City Bed and Breakfast have hauntings of items moving and relocating in the rooms, disembodied voices, and footsteps heard from the 2nd floor when no one was in the rooms. The original owners of the inn owned a funeral parlor across the street. They had brought many dead bodies. Wow. The Flanders Hotel. Atlantic City area, but it's an Ocean City hotel. The hauntings at the Flanders Hotel are the most talked about and written about ghost stories in the Atlantic City area hotels. The only surviving high-rise building after the Ocean City fire. The hotel went on to improve its structure and in turn giving leeway to a paranormal playground from the underground up. Asbury Avenue, including 8th and 9th Streets, is full of paranormal and just plain strange happenings. The suicides of two people who leaped to their deaths from the top of a bank building are now ghosts who haunt the area. Another ghost is a man who was electrocuted while doing some maintenance work in a nearby alley. The alley was also where a police shootout with a robber took place. The robber died, but his spirit lingers. Gunshots and wailing cries are heard in the alley, nicknamed the Alley of the Dead. The New Jersey Pine Barrens, of course, are haunted. The dense woods of the New Jersey Pine Barrens are home to paranormal activity stemming back to the 1700s. Within the woods are the creepy remains of abandoned villages, mills, and mining settlements. Ghost stories about outlaw Bloody John Bacon, who once raided farms and killed their owners, find his restless soul trapped in the woods of his wrongdoings. There are many stories between the first settlers, the superstitious Lenape Indians, and the bloody survival battles, but none of the stories compare to that of the Jersey Devil. And number one's the Jersey Devil, and we will do a short splat on the Jersey Devil eventually. So, the Atlantic Coast, Jersey Shore, crazy shit, a lot of cool stories, and there's many more that you can find on Google. But those are really ones that I've heard the most. And that wraps up Atlantic City. So, check it out. Pretty cool town. Kind of a rough town to grow up in, but it kind of made me who I am today. So I'm not mad at it. But I'm Jared. This has been Short Splats. I'm out.